music today is kind of reminds me of noir type. Switching over. Hey, how's it going? I see that Cox Jam. So today, actually, yeah, so today, welcome back. We're gonna pick up on where we left off. I don't remember what we were doing. What was this case about? Oh yeah, it was another Steel Samurai thing. And then there's the awards, and then Edgeworth came back. Yeah, so craziness. Hey, 21 Snakes, welcome back. Alright, let's switch up the music to get the game audio in. There we go. Yep, Edgeworth is back. That was a nice surprise. We were just like, what the heck happened to him? And then he just suddenly shows up. Oh, okay. Well then, thanks. I'll take it. Yeah, so that's cool. So we're gonna go... We're gonna do a few hours of this. And then see how we feel. And then maybe... I don't know if I'm gonna stream our Heaven on High shenanigans later today. Or if I might just kind of call it before that. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Friday was long. Friday, we did the live letter for 14. That was a trip. It also went way longer than I thought it would, so I was like super tired yesterday. But now we're back and we can hop back into the courtroom. So yeah, let's just kind of go right into it. Oh yeah, starting with the trial. We finished our investigation. Hooray! Alrighty. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Oh shit, what was this guy's voice? I totally forgot. Oh yeah, he was kind of... Okay, I remember. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way! That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Uh-oh, who's this? Well, it's almost time. Oh, it's Mia! Hey, Mia! We must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Oh right, Maya got kidnapped. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Uh-oh. Is the kidnapper calling us? Tim. Beep. This is Wright. Oh shit, what was the kidnapper's voice? He was the weird butler with the zipper face. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present? So he's trying to get us to wrap up the entire case in a day, which is very hard to do and is not usually on trend. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen for us to be able to get the kidnapper to kind of step off and give us more time, you know? Yeah, what's the reverse psychology shit? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who's that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Oh, he's calling us Pinocchio because we're liars. March 22nd, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. What the fuck? Where's Francesca? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? I had nothing to do with them. Your Honor! Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What? What the fuck? Is this the president he was talking about? He shot Von Karma? She's kind of a brat sometimes. She doesn't deserve that. What? Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. I don't want to win like this. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. Who is this? She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Phew. You're... I thought he shot... Oh my god, it's Edgeworth! Ah! 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 Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francesca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Ooh! Edgy! Been so long. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. This is exciting. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt on guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution! Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. Oh yeah, right shoulder is kind of deja vu, isn't it? By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. You don't look happy. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. What? Why? You're a friend. Detective Gumshoe. Prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Edgeworth makes Gumshoe happy. It's cute. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Bare facts of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carreta, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What? What makes them think that? I still think that's weird. but we never found out why. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Bare facts of the case. Press everything. That's how we do. Alright, after the Hero of Heroes award, would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. Special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective. Alright, so it happened around 8 to 8:30. Did we get the autopsy report already? No, we did not. Huh. Found dead in his room. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Madame Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. So she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to get started, she went to get Mr. Guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. I believe he was definitely murdered. Yeah, Judge has priorities. He wants to see the pretty lady. Did not pick up on the fact that she's the manager. Oh, come here, cat. Cat wants to be on stream. Okay, hey. Put your legs down so I can hold you good. Okay, there we go. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Krita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Oh? You didn't give me the autopsy reports. How am I supposed to know? Well, okay. Bye, cat. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, real pro's attention would be drawn here to the bandana. What bandana? Oh, was he strangled? Banana? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Judge! Where are you getting your information? Then, what about the knife? It seems I've been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. Oh. Wouldn't that be like to intentionally frame our client so they should, I don't know, maybe look for something else and not use the knife against us? We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. Autopsy report added to the court record. Time of death 8:15 p.m. Cause strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Alright, they thought something suspicious about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal! Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? That's fucked up. Thought of that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. People can wear gloves. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory, then. Judge, please. Guitar case updated in the court record. Empty. There is some water, but only on the top lid. Bears Corita's fingerprints. I mean, obviously would have his. Found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? That's what I want to know. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. That's kind of weird. Victim, Juan Carita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. That seems like a very odd mistake to make, because you can definitely tell when a case is empty versus when you have your instrument in it. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir! Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. And then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest man on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Ooh, here it comes. Look like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Why arrest on guard? That's what I want to know. If you figured out that the damn knife was fake. Man on guard and Juan Carita were huge rivals of each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. Or, you know, a very easy scapegoat. As for evidence, here's the gem and ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife, because he probably ate the damn steak with it. The defendant bought the knife from the crimes. Bought the knife for the crime? Which makes this a premeditated murder. I really doubt that because it looks like the ones that they serve with the food at the hotel. What a shame that I don't have a picture of that. Okay, well, it's fine. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. And it was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Alright, knife bears the victim's blood and in guard's fingerprints. In the grip, Gatewater is engraved. That clearly makes it obvious that he did not buy this knife. It was from room service. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yeah, so we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Gem and Ninja's button, added to the court record, was ripped off his costume, is covered in Carita's blood, and found in On Guard's hakama. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Or, you know, very easy to frame someone for murder. So I pour more tea for myself. Give me just a hot second here. Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? Heh! I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Grr. The logic this game makes sometimes is just... What are you guys thinking? But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? Yeah? You know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carita was always one step behind On Guard and everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Carita lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. They each thought the other guy was in his way. I hope this doesn't come down to like it was suicide. And then someone decided to conveniently try to frame Matt. Because he did get hanged. And then there was the whole thing with the suicide of the previous manager. Anyway, we'll find out. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Carita in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective? It's not... Well... I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Damn it, Edgeworth. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. Eh? No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... Poor Gumshoe. I look forward to your pension negotiations. No! You can't take away his pension too, that's mean! Now, Detective, let's continue with the testimony. No, my poor pension too! You missed Edgeworth's objections? Me too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Jamming into the button. Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? Can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it! Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir! Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it! They're a perfect match, pal! Ugh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Found in the Hakama. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kurita. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have time The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey! What's he trying to say about me here? Fingerprints all over the knife. How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. Can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Are you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? Bought the knife for this crime. We're gonna press it first, and then we'll do our objection. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife! Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. Button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with unguarded fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be, okay, Phoenix? I already know which one it is. It's the last one. Ripped off, Hakama, fingerprints all over the knife. He did not buy this knife. It was from room service. These guys can't read, apparently. Alright, ready? Objection! Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument... Oops. So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? Has a gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. How did you guys, like, not freaking, like, check that? Seriously. Which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. I didn't know. Oh. He dissed poor Gumshoe. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. Holy shit, that's a lot of bears. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. There's a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Madangard. There's the missing knife. Especially what was on top of his table. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Madangard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. Angard had gone to the victim's room with a knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. Damn! And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Why you gotta make so much sense, Edgeworth? Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth! Absolutely brilliant! A brilliantly clear deduction! Isn't that a butter knife? It's actually a steak knife because they were eating steaks. It just looks like a butter knife for whatever reason. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. It's supposed to be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. Great. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. Yeah, with a butter knife it'd be pretty hard to murder with someone, I imagine. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defendants were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well? Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, she's telling me to save. That gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to the court? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court is yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Save. Now then, what is this important piece of evidence that you must show to the court? Yeah, that's gonna take out everything. Found by one with her suicide note hidden. I'm debating on the article or the suicide thing. Yeah, the whole bar is flashing because they said we only get one chance. Hopefully it's not the tomato juice, because then I'm like thinking definitely on the wrong path. Okay, so we need something to prove. Right now what they're saying is like this was a premeditated murder. I don't think it's time to use this one. It might be that one. Article. Getting close to the mysterious and beautiful manager to the stars. Something the court hasn't seen yet. I mean, this wine glass is still really weird too, because it's like, why is this untouched? We need something to show that it was a setup. I don't think the tablet article's gonna work yet, though. Okay, so this is something that was on the crime scene that is kind of weird. So maybe we'll try this one first. And then if not, we're gonna have to go with either the tabloid or one of the reports. And then try that. Nickel Samurai was gonna confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. That's probably gonna come into play later. Okay, let's try the wine glass first. And if we're wrong, then we restart. Yep, be ready to save scum. That's exactly why I saved before this. Okay. Let's try it. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over, along with everything else, is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was! You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Does that mean we made it? Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible. Mr. Wright? Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No? I doubt it. There's no way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. Yep, bluffing! Bluffing all the way! For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. Damn. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? No, I was just wondering why you didn't bring it up. Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? Yep, dang it, Iggy. They were not the victims, nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews. What? Wine glass updated in the court record. Found next to the victim. It's been filled with tomato juice. Bears Andrews' fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Damn you, Edgy! Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now do you see, Wright? Can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I've come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth! I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. No. Don't do that. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Yeah, don't start tisking at me like the Von Karmas, please. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Oh no! Edgy, why? Now then, witness. Please state your name and occupation. Oh gosh. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was that wicked witch of the witness stand. I tell you this time, I know what I'm supposed to do. So today, I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Oh, God. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Yeah, Wicked Witch of the Witness Stand is pretty good. That was funny. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
was a great job being able to see my dear one. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean, you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that in guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me! I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corrida.
But those two are the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Oh gosh. Why are we here? What you witnessed?
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room.
Why?
Here's something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, man on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See? It has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Sorry, I was adjusting something. Alright, she went to go pace in the hallway. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show. And I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails.
She was sabotaging the set? Maybe it was a good thing that the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
That's fucked up. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? She was interested in finding something out. What did you want to know? Something you were interested in? And just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to our testimony later. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Yep, she said she was keeping an eye out the whole time. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
What a weird thing to do. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Man coming out of Juan's room. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was...
Yes, he was...
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now. He's right. The one time we could really use her whip.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway.
She's saying it was on guard. You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yesy!
Really?
Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person!
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Yeah, with the face. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. His red eyes covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shining teeth.
His teeth were shining?
Well, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie.
Did she hate him so much? Why does she have his pinup poster? I have questions. This week's pinup. Why do you... I mean... I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? A guard's face is the same no matter where it is. You know, you whippersnapper.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Not with the face, no. Let's try something else. Not important. Guess it really wasn't that important after all. Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining? She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us, really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? That's because you're not the one who has to question her. I would not use the word sweet old lady to describe this woman. Alright, we need more details about... Maybe it's his clothes. Since she didn't see his face. She's saying it was him. Okay. Oops. Did I hit tab instead of... There we go. I want Q. Alright, you saw my client. Describe him, please. Person's clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
Ah, troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Ah, yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Huh, men.
Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I don't... Shouldn't he have still been in costume? Wait! Yeah. Because if he went and murdered him, then how did this button get into his Hakama? Right? Okay. Yeah, this is relevant. Okay, we're gonna say this is relevant. It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. And perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must... He's wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Okay, so if he was not in costume... The Hakama's the pants, though. But if he wasn't wearing the top, then he probably wasn't wearing the bottom either, you know? Okay, let's give it a go. Objection! The music stopped. I think that means we did it. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason!
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninjas costume!
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it at a single glance. And she knew which button it was, which is weird. Who says button number 2?
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Enguarde's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? See? And on guard is the nickel samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Enguarde, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, I'd
Oh shit, here she goes. Looking outfit is hideous, tape recorder stuck to her chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy. It's heavy, which we would switch to CDs years ago. Something driving me alive out there for all the kids. Understand. Take a look in the mirror, your clothes, something. Documentary on curling, edgy poo. Man. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Enguarde the man, but Mr. Enguarde the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Have we been here before with her? Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Didn't she see someone pretending to be the Steel Samurai last time, and it wasn't actually the Steel Samurai, it was someone who stole his costume? It was, yeah, the victim stole Will Powers' costume and then went and got himself killed, so, I mean, this could be someone else stealing Matt Enguarde's costume. Oldbag.
Andy Pooh, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Yep, deja vu.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Who she saw.
On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor one.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? That's exactly what happened last time!
Woman!
Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things!
But the possibility does exist!
Ah, you youngins today! I told you there's no way it was anyone else!
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
This is the most frustrating witness. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I'll try. Ma'am, due to have a memory. Yeah. Do you have a memory? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Ha! Watch your language, young man! What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything!
I don't think that's the way that works.
You keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs!
Oh gosh. What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai!
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay, you promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Oh, remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. Let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What'd you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner here in the public's court, so what?
See? And look at where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well...
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that?
It's like she doesn't understand the whole court thing and... Okay.
Now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
It was literally 5 minutes ago. Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume. It's not enough.
Would have been... Oh, we got an achievement for that. Convenient for him to wear the costume. And why would that be?
Apparently, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
He had the show. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Must have worn the costume. So, let me ask you one last time. The person you saw was really the Nickel Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is, what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. She saw the Nickel Samurai. Would have been convenient for him to wear it during the murder. But then why wasn't he wearing it when we found... Oh no, he was wearing his costume when we found him. Because that's how they found the Hakama. Found a thing on his Hakama. Yeah, and then he has this after the stage show also. Cat, what are you doing? I don't see how this is very convenient to wear. must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor one. Been convenient for him to wear the costume. I'm not sure where to go with this, actually. Let's see. This rivals with the Jammin' Ninja. Like, I don't think it was really all that convenient for him to wear his costume, but then... Where's costume during the murder? He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show when he was stabbing poor one. But he died from being strangled, right? It's a little... Am I being a peanut brain? I don't know. Okay, so what thing is kind of obvious that's a contradiction? He did get stabbed, but he was strangled first. And I don't see how it would be convenient to strangle someone in this costume. How on earth is this considered convenient to wear? Like, I think the line of thinking is right, but I'm not sure what specifically to present where. And this cat is headbutting me, but doesn't want to get picked up. Okay, well... Let's save first in case we screw this up really bad. Okay, well, let's start with he wasn't... I mean, I guess we can start with the fact that he died from being strangled. Alright, let's try it first. Nope, that's not it. Alright, so it's something about the costume. Okay, so I think it is something about the costume. I don't think this is very convenient. That's not it. Okay. Post-ceremony stage show right after the crime. Cat, you want to be on stream? Oh, come here. Come here, child. You know, you make it hard to play the game, Cat. So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing one. He had to go to the show right after the crime. Crime was at 8:50. Stop. Stop. There we go. Just sit still. There we go. Good cat. This doesn't have a time on it, but after the stage show. Let's see. No, I don't think there's an issue with that. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor one. I mean, somebody was wearing it, but what's to say it was actually him, you know? What? Okay, cat. Bye. See you later. Victim's blood and guard's fingerprints. Why would he murder before the stage show when he have gotten the costume all bloody? That is true. That doesn't make any sense at all. So he must have worn the nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing Juan. Okay. It's like nothing about that is convenient for him to wear the costume. So we got blood everywhere. Okay. I do agree, I just don't know what to present to make that point. That's like part of the puzzle here. It's just like, what do we need to show? Would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. But no, it wouldn't have because of the blood. Yeah, not supposed to be thinking this hard on a Sunday. Fair. Man. I mean, let's try. No, that's not it. It's like something to point out that the blood's not convenient. He has the press conference after. No? Okay. Clearly this is a contradiction. No, they aren't, are they? Not at all, Mr. Wright. Please think of the facts before making accusations. I don't think that one made any point to the judge. Okay. The last thing that Phoenix said was that, I think he said that we were on the right track last time when I presented the button. So let me refresh our things really quick. Oh shit. Whoops. So let's try the knife. No? It does. Don't see that. Huh? Really? Objection denied. Try to think. Oops, that didn't go so well. Wait. I need to read again what he said when we put the button in. So I'm gonna sacrifice knowing that this is gonna be wrong just so I can read that statement again because I clicked past it. Objection denied. Try to think. No, I thought he said something. Did I? I thought he said something about being on the right track. Did I like miss-see something? Are my eyes playing tricks on me? Map of the hotel. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage show right after the crime. So he had to wear... Random dialogue? Oh, okay. Oh, he said he was on the wrong track. Okay. That makes sense. I was just like, wait. I was just clicking so fast I didn't even see. No. Something about this is... Okay. Something about the costume. Can't see what's faulty. Penalize me. Must be on the wrong track. Yep. We tried that. She says, Mia says there's an obvious contradiction, but I'm like, how? Oops. I want to look at profiles. There we go. Bad terms with On Guard, Hotshot Star, Rivals with a Ninja. It doesn't make sense for him to be wearing the costume when he's gonna get covered in blood. I do think that's right. I just don't know what we need to show to prove that. That's the tricky part that we have right here. Did I do knife here already? I don't remember. I think I did. You can't tell who's in the costume, though. Tomato juice with Andrew's fingerprints. Corita's fingerprints. This is a tricky one. The ceremony. Alright, let me refresh our things. Gonna refresh our bar. Okay. Did I do photo at the last one already? I don't know. Let's see. Try everything. That's kind of the game here. Nope, it's not the photo. Objection denied. Try to think before we make accusations. Oopsies. He had to go to the post-stage ceremony. Mia said it was gonna be something obvious. Nickel Samurai is going to confess something. Yeah, Mia, just tell us what you know! Let's try that. No. I'm like, that's a long shot. Doesn't see anything contradictory, uh-huh. Would it be weird to just present the autopsy report because they all had to go to the post-ceremony stage show? Nope, that ain't it. Statement's faulty. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I'll have to penalize you. Uh-huh. Must be on the wrong track. Yep. So he must have worn the costume when stabbing Juan. Don't need to think too hard. It's a contradiction in plain sight. Okay, let me try pressing her again. Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai. She saw the Nickel Samurai. So, I just thought of something really stupid. If she saw the Nickel Samurai, you can't see their face. So maybe this should have been where we presented the costume. I'm gonna refresh our thing. Now I just feel stupid. Oh, if this is it, I'm gonna be mad at myself. Nope, it ain't that. Okay. Look at the crime scene photo again. She saw the Nickel Samurai, but she didn't necessarily see our client. Okay, there's the thread, somewhere he was stabbed. Broken vase and the makeup and everything. What a toughie. You're sure you saw the Nickel Samurai? Plays the Nickel Samurai. Alright, how about I'm gonna try pressing everything again and then try to see which one kind of comes up as the right statement. If we can at least get a hint of that much, that'll help us. Careful the testimony, racing jackets, not too long ago, and then she does all this ranting about when we were a kid. matrix. Inside the costume. Would have been convenient, she's saying. Why would it be convenient? That way no one could see his face. Costume would make him stand out more. More troublesome to change in and out of his costume because he had to go to the show. All kinds are supposed to go on the stage. The last time person we saw was really the Nickel Samurai. Show is ever. People say Wendy Oldbag is more annoying, but to be honest, Lotta has to be the most annoying. You know what? They're both pretty damn annoying. They're both annoying in their own ways because they don't remember things very well. Well, nobody in this game remembers things very well, but they're like really bad about it, and they'll like rant on it and go off on tangents. But at least Lotta is sometimes, like, a little redeeming when she, like, realizes that she's done wrong. And she's like, oh, gee, I'm sorry. And then, like, she'll, like, you know, give us the photos and things. She's still pretty annoying. But, like, that's why she's, like, slightly less annoying than Wendy Oldbag, in my opinion. Because Wendy Oldbag has, like, no redeeming qualities. She's just annoying. Anyway, we're stuck here trying to figure out how do we get what we need? Because it obviously doesn't make sense that to... Okay, so we know it doesn't make sense for him to wear the costume and try to get and potentially get blood on it. Like, that's kind of weird. And we also know it can't 100% be him if he has, like, a face mask on. Like, how do you know it's not somebody else? Because that's exactly what happened before last year in game. But, like, you know, in the last game to us. But what we're struggling with is how do we prove that? Like, which piece of evidence do we need to show where to make our point? So, what can we show? I think we've tried the button and the knife and this and the picture on this statement. The glossy photo. So man, I was pressing everything to try to figure out which statement, but I'm still not sure. Like, I feel like this is the one that it's trying to get us to present on, but I'm not totally positive on that. And then I don't know what do we present? We didn't present the crime photo yet. We could try that. Well, we'll just try it out. Nope, that ain't it. Alright. Don't see the contradictory. Mia's like, the contradiction's really obvious, and I'm like, well, yeah, but I don't know what you want us to present to show that. Must have worn the Nickel Samurai. Have we pressed yeah, we have pressed everything. We've pressed everything on this one. But we don't know what statement it's flagging. Like, normally it's a little more obvious. At least which statement is wrong, but this time I'm not sure. I mean, his fingerprints were all over the knife because he was using it to eat. And I think we already presented that here anyway, so. See the other statements. Okay. So from the beginning. Alright, on guard and guard. Yes, no, I remember the Nickel Samurai. That's right, it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. We tried this one, like, didn't go anywhere when I pressed it. Oops. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. And it's like, what's so convenient about wearing the costume to go murder some... Well, okay, you can't see the face, yeah. So, I don't know. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime. So that's... The fact that he had to go to the post-ceremony stage show is why she's saying it must have been convenient for him. But it's like, well, how's that convenient? Because he might get blood on it. So he must have worn the Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. And then looking at the evidence we have. So it's like, here's the costume, and I'm like... I mean, it doesn't really look convenient for stabbing someone, because you... I mean, I guess he could use his spear hand. Definitely can't use the nickel hand. Forgot what one it was? Yeah. I'm like... And Mia's just like, it's so obvious! It's an obvious contradiction! And I'm like... Okay, but... Nothing's working. Nickel Samurai has something to confess after the post-ceremony stage show. That's not really relevant right now because... Present profiles too. Yeah. I was thinking about that, but I don't know. I guess we could try profiles. Nickel Samurai, but she saw this Nickel Samurai, so she didn't see him. So I guess we'll try presenting Matt, maybe? Let's try it. Nope, that wasn't it. Clearly faulty. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime. So he must have worn the samurai when he was stabbing Juan. What if we present the profile here? No, that's not it. Alright, let's refresh our bar again. Okay. And then here's the photo of the murder scene. Man, where's Dr. Lupin when I remember? Because he actually remembers some of this stuff. So he could jog my... He could, like, give us a hint and at least point us on the right one of the things so we could figure out where we need to present something. Must have worn the costume when he was stabbing him. I mean, that's why this would be in there. This was the first thing I tried, was this item on this statement, and that didn't work, because I was like, well, technically you got strangled first. Did I do the photo here already? I'm starting to, like, forget what we've already tried. I feel like I did. I must have. don't think there's anything in the... I don't think there's anything here that we can use just yet. On the 5th one. I think the 5th one's the last one, no? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought we tried this, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. Maybe I didn't try it on that one. Nah, I just feel a little dumb. I thought we did that one already. Alright. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, no, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. I could have sworn we did this already, but... Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? Well... Yep, well... And whose car are we driving? Judge! Judge, focus! If Mr. On Guard was really in costume, in the nickel samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Unless he was eating with it, which is why he had the knife in the first place. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh. That is a good point. Fair. Oh, that's right. The nickel samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? Yes. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why would he do that? And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? That's stupid. Come on, Edgy. There's no way he would do something like that. However, there's one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the nickel samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. But then why did he bring the knife with him? That's weird. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? Bogus! So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Yes. There's a contradiction. Two grown men screaming at each other. The game. Yep. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. I mean, it's this again, isn't it? They were saying that he... Okay, so what they said earlier with Gumshoe's testimony, they were saying that it was a premeditated murder because why would he bring the knife with him out of his room when he got room service? Like, why would you bring a knife with you when you're gonna just, like, go talk to someone, right? But now they're doing the opposite, and they're like, oh, like, you know, it was just an accident. He didn't think about it so when he was bringing it over, so he took his gloves off, and then he, like, stabbed the dude. But it's like, you just contradicted your own theory that you established in the last testimony. So, possible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Yeah, because he brought the knife to begin with. So I guess do we show the knife again? That's kind of weird, but I feel like that's the thing, right? This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. Yeah. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. The knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? To hide the murder method to frame him out on guard, because we already figured out that it was murdered by strangulation, so, I mean, yeah, to frame him. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? No. But we just established that the witness saw the nickel samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness!
Looks like I made your life a teeny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the nickel samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the nickel samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now.
Hold back, why? Hey, Dr. Lupin, could have used you a few minutes ago. Welcome back.
Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the nickel samurai, that's for sure.
This woman's so difficult. She wasn't waiting for the nickel samurai? Alright then, who were you waiting around for then? I just got stuck on something because Mia was like, oh, the contradiction's really obvious, and I'm like, presenting things on every single one, like, which one is it? Anyway, it's fine. We figured it out.
Huh, that's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag? You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Oh, because Edgeworth mentioned the gossip, which was this, and Edgeworth was like, I don't believe in gossip, I don't give a shit. So he was probably talking about Adrian Andrews, because she wants to... Everyone thinks that the gossip is relevant and true and all that. Alright, anyway. Present! Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On Guard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... Well, this is... Ah, I see. The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt. The witness thought so as well.
Huh, looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Scandalous. Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. Oh, God.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source.
Oh, dear.
That's what I was doing with my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Judge, please. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well, then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of you, young'uns.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information. Edgeworth's like, gods, I have to, but why?
Guard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. How? And this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
This is a public court. The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. We are in court. Yep, yeah, we are.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right! On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've gotta burn old bags with fire. What saying is that? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. What the heck is that saying from? I never heard of that. Alright, secret information. On guard's evil, she says. You don't know, but... Cannot say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
And it's true! That woman was getting intimate with poor one! Look! It says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, this AA!
Top Gun in here, yep. But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touche.
This? Wendy. Alright. She thinks he caused the scandal. Jesus, Judge, yep. Scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is.
You think that got you when you were playing too?
Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
How old do you think I am? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that On Guard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Sent his manager to get him close. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything, but boy do I wish I could do something about you. Truer words never spoken before.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards one?
I don't think I am anything like that. Do I? Decline the offer to present. I don't think there's anything to prove that. Other than the fact that on guard's like dumb as a coat hanger. But that's fine. I don't have anything to offer.
See? Just as I thought. Now you're lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, you silly boy.
Why? Me and my big mouth.
That's the way for the cookie crumbles for you, anyway.
Oh, God. So what was... Okay, sent his manager just to get close with one. Scandal. Okay. Can't condone such dirty tricks. So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Vaughn's room, I was gonna capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was gonna make her eat the damaging beams with my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
She says it's top secret, but she's telling everybody. Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this is secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. But it's a secret. Even if you drill the hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Yeah, press further. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me!
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice.
Damn it, Edgy!
The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. The lectures me on workless blabbering? Damn it, Edgeworth. As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did old Bag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Sounds like just... Oh, sorry. Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. There has to be something we can catch her on. Yeah, and when I find it, I'm gonna press the heck out of it. Okay. So it's probably the last one, I think. Where she got the secret information that... Was it from this article? It says that Wonker has been getting in close with a mysterious yet beautiful... Made it seem like he objected to himself. I'm pretty... Okay, yeah, I mean, that's true. But I'm pretty sure, in any case, I'm pretty sure that what happened is Old Bag stole Lotta's camera, and then that's where she's getting this information from. Because it had the tabloid article in it that Lotta was writing, and she already said she was making shit up because she wanted money. These two together are the biggest headache in the game. Alright, let's press this. We're gonna present evidence about where she got the information. How did she get the information? So, no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Oh, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness?
Hi!
Oh, sorry. I hate to say it, but... Is how you came to acquire your secret info... This is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? You stole Lotta's camera. Alright. Take that! The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrage, impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
And everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah, that's it. That's the note. Now we found out what happened to Lotta's camera.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy!
You thieving old woman. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of blondes, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick.
Stealing cameras, old bag.
She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
So you stole her camera?
Hedgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am.
Not an angel. If this is an angel, I don't want to see a devil.
It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
Where the hell's the rest of the camera? You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once. No, it came with the camera. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? No, pile on more pressure. More pressure! If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was the note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen to more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's it.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night. Yeah, it came with the camera. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? Camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why, witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
How could you steal somebody's camera? That's so rude. That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you, I fall in love, and I borrow things from people.
Yo, it's not cool to steal people's expensive-ass cameras. That shit's a lot of money. I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said... Slimebag Celebrities Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I didn't know what sort of picture she had taken.
She's Miss Krabs? Oh.
I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff! Check this camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once. Anything interesting? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. Yeah, that is indeed the Nickel Samurai costume. This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. Lotta's photo added to the court record. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Hold on, I want to look at it. So, here's what I notice immediately. The pants are dragging. And they should not be dragging if it is the person who is fit for the costume is wearing it, you know? Yeah, so whoever's wearing the costume is too short. So that's wrong. This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his nickel samurai costume. I think he had multiple costumes on him though, didn't he? That is the case, then this nickel samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We've examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. No, I have an objection. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? No. If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Good thing I already know what the answer is, otherwise I'd be like, what? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Insta-kill moment, yep. Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo was strange? The legs? I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And? What does that mean? Second samurai? Second time this has happened, yep. The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ungard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate. The actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. The costume is not fit for them. It was not intended for them. Second time this has happened? Yeah. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Getting food? Okay, have fun. Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? Hello, cat. If the person in this photo is not Matt on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. Oh, cat! What are you doing? I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. Yep, there's a cat in my face. Climbing on me. Oh, okay. See you later. Bye, cat. I think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not mad on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Edward, stop being so chill. Yep. Who's the person wearing the nickel samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edward's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Uh-oh. It's probably Adrian. Because she wouldn't want to get caught going over there because of the rumors and all that stuff. Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Ungard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ungard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ungard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as the murder weapon! Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. Why is he still so relaxed? It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order! 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 It looks like this trial has had a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean, Mia? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. Oh shit, you're right. One more day? Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court! Shit. Raise an objection, ask them to do it today, please. Let's move it along, we need to get this fast. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue this trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she is not... Oh, are you here? Are you here? Oh, he's... I abhor wasting such valuable time. Gotta save Maya. Edgeworth. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But... we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. Oh, did he already have this planned? And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andrews is all happening according to a plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. That why she ain't here in the audience? She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Ooh, boy. Okay, probably maybe Gumshoe told Edgeworth about what's going on with Maya, hopefully, so we can try to, like, save her. Part 2 trial. Alright, here we go. March 22nd, 2:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Dude! I can't believe that Adrian... No way! Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Cause she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it was really her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But, why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see this by the time the trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze? Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude. Phoenix. I think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact's as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's? It was Edgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. March 22nd, 2:25 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. I need to take a little quick break, so I'll play some music for you all, and I will be right back. I'm back. Gotta save Maya. Alright, let's do this. Oh, let me get on the right screen so I can see chat. Alright, there we go. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. Prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. She still has that card? She's still fiddling with it. That's kind of weird. What is your occupation? Uh-oh. I forgot what voice we were doing for her. I fully forgot what voice we were doing for her. I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. Ah, no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter, or was it bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. I am, actually. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then, witness. Please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. When I found the body! It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. But then she didn't drink it. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the... And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? Alright, let's press everything, because that's how we do. She went to get Matt from his room. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time? He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his many performances as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? Ed, what are you... Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room? No. Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. She went to Juan's room. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Press further. Is that the only reason? Beg your pardon. What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim? Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at the time. Can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? She saw the dead body. You were in shock? What? Was I not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. You can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. She saw the same scene as in the photo. This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? She poured herself a glass of juice. Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There were no lip marks left on the wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock? And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I'm so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing. What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to say just now? Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an sorry, Edgeworth voice, my bad. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal in your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Really? Because the guitar case is open. I'm gonna press it first, though. She was the one who knocked over the flower... Oh, sorry. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over, where it fell into the guitar case. Press it first, and then we're going to object to it. What kind of flower vase was it? We don't need to know that, Phoenix! It was a glass vase, and was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions to her testimony just now. Yes, there does.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to
keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. Do it for Maya! Dead body, naturally crime, same as a crime file, falls about to faint. Alright, ready guys? Cause someone definitely touched this because it was only on the lid. Right, ready? Objection! You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem, it's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. What is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Ah. What is your point, Wright? The case was closed at the time when the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. Right, red guitar was found at the studio. Has no bearing on the case at all. That may very well be, however, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Yeah, make her testify. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along, for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
The fact that she still got that card and is spinning it around is weird because it's the same card that's in the room with Maya, you know? What is that?
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
She was probably looking for the suicide note. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using any way to change the topic. Convenient escape for a weak man. The guitar case. She doesn't remember because she was dazed. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see...
Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case?
She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews?
Yes, it was me.
She thinks she opened it after she knocked over the vase. So you opened the guitar case then?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed.
Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was all right or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
Getting back on topic.
Case was empty after all. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials will be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. She doesn't know why she opened it. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
Yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. Guess I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now.
I wasn't planning on letting up, but...
She's at her weakest now, so this is our chance.
Yeah, if we have a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sure our weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
Don't remember... Okay, must have opened the guitar case after she knocked the vase over. Case was empty. Why she opened the case? Should we bring this up? Is now the time to bring it up? Why she would open the case? She's looking for the suicide note. Alright, let's try it. Objection! Nope, not it. Okay. Let's see, contradictory. Objection denied. Oopsies, that didn't go so well. She doesn't know why she opened it. We expanded something. Okay, something else. Then why aren't her fingerprints on it? I think this is it. Alright. Objection! There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Huh?
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Then why are your fingerprints on the wine glass? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It's elementary, my dear, so savage. Yeah, it is.
It was the night of the awards ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Yeah, the wine glass. Got your prints all over it. I have your proof right here, this wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass.
Ah.
Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't Don't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Ugh. She broke her glasses and put on new glasses. That's funny. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. It's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean... It was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. Phoenix! I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Hey, it usually works though. Steer the court toward an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. You are so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well... Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar would... So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, Mr. Wright? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? The suicide note I was thinking is probably what she was looking for. I guess now's the time to present this? And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one? Why, Mr. Wright, why? Well, I just thought it might have been possible. Nope, okay. I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be? Yes, and never bring it out again. Can a foolishly foolish fool get some love? Oh no, we're quoting Francesca! You still think that you can prove your theory? Can you prove that the guitar case was not empty at the time of the murder? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Alright, what was in the guitar case? They're all becoming Von Karma, right? Okay, is he holding anything? No, nothing I can tell. What could have been in there? Say Von Karma because you can't spell Francesca. That's very fair. Her name is spelled very weirdly. Alright, so what was in the guitar case? What would have been in there? What was inside the case at the time of the murder? It's not like the Nickel Samurai is walking out with anything. I think. Yeah, not walking out with anything. And we already know the camera was with Old Bag. I mean, I'm pretty sure what she was looking for would have been the suicide note. But then what was in there, if not the guitar? Do I have anything like that? From the costume. One Craze has been getting close to the mysterious yet beautiful manager of the stars. What the heck am I supposed to present here? Well. Check the note? Which note? The article? Was her suicide note hidden? Shock from Solace impacts his suicide. Time of death, 8:15. Photo of the murder. Wine glass. Map. We don't have a picture of the suicide note. We have an article, and we have the suicide report. It just says, found by Juan Corrida, was her suicide note hidden? I presented this already, and it said no. So, I don't know. Yeah, not that. So it's not that. And this was on his costume. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? What could have been in there? Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. The knife? Okay. The knife came from the other room. And that's just a photo. These suicide reports wouldn't be in there. Security lady went on guard. Probably not relevant to what's happening now, but he's strangled with his own scarf or someone else's. I think it was actually with his own scarf. That's what I'm kind of wondering, but I don't have a photo of the Jammin' Ninja costume to confirm. If I present Celeste, will that kind of imply the suicide note, do you think? I guess it's worth trying. I mean, it's only one. We'll give it a go. And why would something like that be inside the guitar case? Hold on, this one. Nope. Okay. I don't know. Never bring it out again. Foolishly foolish fool. Can I save? I can save here. No, I can't save right there because it wouldn't let me. I kind of want to try the article. I don't know why, I just want to try it. Why would that be in there? I don't know. Put it in the void where a brain should be. Man. I have no idea what's in there. It's like, I don't know what we could possibly have that would be... Is it stupid to just present the guitar case and be like, there was nothing in there at the time, but someone thought there was something in there? Oh, this is such a dumb thing, but we're gonna try it anyway. Nope. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. What was inside the case? Well, probably not the tomato juice. That would be weird. I mean, what could I possibly have? I don't... Where are we going with this? That's not really gonna help us right now. We know where this came from. This was on his costume. It's making us present something. It's not like we can back out of it. So it's like we have to have something. I just have no idea what it could possibly be. So all we could do is blind guess. Unless anybody has ideas. I'm open to ideas. I don't know why that would be in there. What was in there? I don't know. Why would that be in there? I don't know. Alright, let's refresh our thing by a few tries. mean, I guess we could try the other note. The attempted suicide report. Why would that be in there? I don't know. Oh gosh. Like, I'm literally presenting everything because I have no idea what to present. Why would that be in there? Don't ask me! Yeah, I don't know! Phoenix, where are you going with this? I'm like, that would be the weirdest thing to be in there, but... Okay, we're gonna load it up again. We'll save it, resave it here so I don't have to keep watching that penalty get taken. Okay. What was in the case at the time of the murder? Alright, there's no way the photo would have been in there. Oh shit, oops. I don't think I presented the knife yet, so I'm gonna present it anyway. Even though I'm pretty sure that's not it, but I don't know what we're trying to get at here. Yeah, I don't know. You see, what was in the case was my badge! I love presenting my badge at everything. We've tried all those. Crime photo? I don't know. Nope. What on earth was in this damn guitar case? The killer! Not the killer. There's a cat meowing at me. I mean, I have profiles. I don't know what good presenting any of the profiles would do, though. I think this cat wants me to feed him. Cat, give me a bit. The killer was in the case. Adrian Andrews shoved herself into the case. What have we, like, not submitted that, like, would even make sense? Possibly. Because I feel like we've submitted so many things already and none of it's it, so I'm like, where do you want me to go with this? The Nickel Samurai was in the case. Oh shit, that was actually right! Hold on, sorry. Why? I'm like, hold on, I don't want to be like it empty. Why was this in there? This is a photograph. Yes, but what's important is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside that guitar case is the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. I'm sorry, what? Look at this photograph. What? What? I'm with Edgeworth on this one. I don't know what the fuck Phoenix is talking about. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right. Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? An insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? But then how the fuck did the costume get into... I'm still confused. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Is this why... Unless Juan Corrida stole it. But how? Matt was still wearing it. Did he just steal a second one? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot correct. You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. Bluff and submit things until you get the right answer. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would something of the defendant be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places. Yeah, that's what I want to know. What the fuck? True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? It must have been a spare costume. Mr. Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. You like how this game has descended to just throwing random bullshit at the judge? Yeah, pretty much! Bluffing 101, that's what this game is. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Apparently. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Corrida, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? Is it that post-ceremony confession thing for some reason? And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just, Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was for this thing that Matt had no idea about. Some kind of confession. What is this? On the night of the murder after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Ungard himself said he had no idea who was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. How can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Kurita was going to hold the press conference as the nickel samurai. He was going to dress up as the nickel samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The nickel samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I wondered he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the nickel samurai, was going to speak about Matt on guard.
What the fuck?
Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Miss Andrews,
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon me?
Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him. That was also me.
You?
Juan had bet everything on the gem and ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What? Do you know what the secret of Mr. Angard is? Mr. Angard's is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
Ah, I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Mr. Angard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
Protecting Matt. It just never ends with this lady. Oops.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. And I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
This does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit.
If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Uh-oh. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything was swung to the opposite end of the scale again. This just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. She had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Would you say that that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own.
Ugh.
If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things?
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence.
There's no way this case is actually just going to be done in one day. Yeah, there's no way. So I'm a little worried for Maya.
And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember.
May I continue now?
You had to kill one no matter what. So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
If she was trying to protect Matt, why would she set it up? If she knew it was going to damage him, why would she help set up the conference? But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony, if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright?
Feeling Matt was the murderer. Don't have to prove that she's right. Has Mr. On Guard done something to her to betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Carita with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. But didn't you already testify earlier that Matt On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard?
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for the some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia.
He's glaring at you, smart guy.
Button and the knife. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
And then, what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought, and during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
And that button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Ugh. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. Button was torn off one during his fight with Matt. And how do you know that?
When the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Or so I heard.
I've heard that before too. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail?
Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not.
Ugh. I thought I had had her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what? Phoenix, stop being dumb. Button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. No, but he died from being strangled, not from being stabbed. So why would it be bloody? Hold on, let me save real quick. Because I want to press the last statement, but I don't want it to like accidentally end when I do that. But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Engard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Krita planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Engard as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. And please, stop slandering the witness. As expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid.
Really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more.
You should know this by now. But you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make her talk.
Got it, Chief. I'm gonna pin you down this time, Miss Andrews. Why is this episode called Farewell My Turnabout? That's a good question. I don't know. Doesn't have to prove she's right. Didn't have an alibi. I'm gonna try presenting the autopsy report. Alright, ready? Objection! This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. So it's like there would have been no struggle when he got stabbed, you know?
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off of the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Order! Order! What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? That is pretty gruesome. What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know that this button was not turned off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. And that would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? To pin the crime on Engard, duh. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Engard was set up. By the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer, then? I got no idea yet. Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer is the person who planned to frame Mr. Engard is... Ah, shit. I mean, we're gonna have to say it was Adrian. We don't got any other kind of evidence right now. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. She's like a Pokemon. You are Mr. Krita's killer.
What?
Order! 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 Mr. Wright! It was my badge! Yeah, don't throw a Pokeball at them. That's not how this works. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All the evidence points towards Miss Andrews.
How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was Pearl! Oh, poor Pearl. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. She broke another pair of glasses and put another one on. How many glasses does this woman have?
Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's hakama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body, or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own hakama. Weird.
Ugh.
Fourth pair of glasses. We're on 4 now. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap. You, yet again, Miss Andrews. Hey, I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could have only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No,
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So, to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Ah! And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. Where's the twist? This isn't gonna end in one day. Yeah, there's gonna be something that happens. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
please, stop!
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law that says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? I mean, yeah, pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room...
Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right.
That's it. And that's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done? Damn it, Edgy. What are you laughing at? What's wrong, Wright? You finished already? Run out of evidence? What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Kurita. Oh, I got that. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Kurita?
I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No. She's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true! In this situation, there's only one thing the court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? Shit! We don't have it tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. It's about Maya, and we have to save her. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... It's not impossible for this trial to continue. Thank you, Edgeworth! Edgeworth, it's okay. We let it slip only a little bit. We didn't say the full thing, and Edgeworth caught on. He's still our good friend. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you? It's true that Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to what she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there is one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, and?
Can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
So my actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
He is a friend to the truth, I think. I don't know, I hope so. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. When I found the body... Man, she's going on for a while.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. When she found the body. Alright, she didn't pour it for herself. Oh, am I in the wrong window? There we go. But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right?
Of course not.
Then who did you pour it for?
Mr. Wright, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. Can you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you?
In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen.
Precisely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Ugh. Alright, she's surprised when she saw the messy state. So, it was a mess? You sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Kurita? I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. Ugh. And then, what did you see next, witness? Sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Slumped over?
Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed.
Yeah, he is slumped over.
He really looked like he was sleeping.
Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? It is kind of odd. Then what did cross her mind?
I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then he felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I thought.
I see, so you didn't think he was dead at all? Thought he'd fainted or something. She poured him some juice. You thought he fainted?
I thought he was asleep at first. But then, the room was in such a messy state. Thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone.
And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice?
Yes, he always had a hard time waking up. Swan always has a glass of tomato juice to drink.
I see. And after that, what happened next? And then that's when she knocked the flower vase over. And how did you come to realize that he was, in fact, dead?
I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backwards.
And knocked the flower vase over. So that's what happened.
Yes. This is what it all comes down to.
Huh?
And this is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now's her best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case.
Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time? Saw it in that messy state. Juan, he was sitting slumped over in the corner, looking tired. I don't think so. We're gonna try presenting this. Alright, ready? Objection! Nope, that's not it. Damn it. Okay, I don't think he looks that... contradicts the evidence. It's like, how does this look like him being tired, though?
Oopsies!
Alright, this was the one that Phoenix was suspicious of, though. So... he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. How was this not it? I'm pretty sure that's the statement that Phoenix was like. Let me double check it. Slumped over. Looked like he was sleeping. Yeah, that does sound odd. Slumped over and tired looking. And submitting... the knife, maybe? Or did she not? Is she gonna claim that she didn't see the knife? I would think it'd be weird to like not see the knife though, honestly. We'll give it a go. That's not it. Slumped over and tired looking. Maybe I do need to do it on a different statement. Thought that he was dead didn't cross your mind. Alright, let's try it. Yep, it was that one. Right evidence initially, but wrong statement. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Ah!
What's the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There was a knife sticking out straight out of Mr. Kurita's chest. Anyone who saw the scene would have immediately thought that there was a dead man.
That's... Well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Miss Andrews, your testimony just now was all one giant lie. Your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer.
No!
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all.
That's impossible! You're wrong!
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. What's Edgeworth gonna calmly say here? Yeah, that's a good question.
It wasn't me! It wasn't me, I tell you! It was Matt, I swear it! He's the one who killed Juan.
But you are the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Then there's no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Madangard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard. Nail it! Goddamn it, Edgeworth! Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak absolute, real truth. The absolute, real truth? What are you? Witness, don't you understand yet?
Huh?
I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Madame Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party.
That's a lie! I don't believe you.
What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Madame Guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging onto them.
Fully dependent on Von Karma. That sounds like a bad idea. What should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me, I'm begging you. Please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please, someone, help me.
Mr. Wright! Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue on like this, therefore I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say? Right. I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did, and what she did not do. And think about who it is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? Come now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Let's force her to testify, because at the end of the day, we're still good people. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you are really hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? No. Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet. How dare you, Hugh? You're trying to trick me.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop!
Mr. Edgeworth! Oh my god, he's gonna drop some truth bombs. And this witness, how should I put this? She has an illness.
What?
Because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Stop! Please stop!
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report. What will you do now, witness? Oh no, Edgeworth, why would you bring this out? That's kind of mean, because she was like begging us not to bring it up, but it's like, we still kept the things in our court record, so obviously we're gonna bring it up. You know what I'm about to do, don't you? Dang, Edgeworth has no chill. Yeah, he's got none. We'll now reveal to the court the true nature of this pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. Secret of her dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. He has the wrong kind of chill. Yeah, he does.
Please, please stop! I beg you! People find out! People find out, oh.
If you're gonna say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. Damn! Damn, Edgy, that's cold! Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. Damn, Edgeworth!
I'll talk, but please, help me. Nothing matters anymore.
Her crime. Oof. We're getting a lot of testimony out of her.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stab the body with a knife? But why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all of this? It might take the court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time? What? What does that mean? So, Miss Andrews just stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with the murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Her crime. Alright, so she really thought that he fainted. Everything about this case is coming back to you and it's really fucked up. Well, that's fun. Good to know. Something to look forward to. But you could tell from the state of the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice.
She made a plan when she realized he was dead. What's this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
First thing that came to mind was to plant the knife.
And then, when she made sure there was no one in the hallway, she ran to the Matt's room. That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime.
Stabbed Juan's dead body, ripped off the button. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. On Guard's hakama.
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
She had a bit of an inconvenience. An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
Ah, that's Miss Oldbag for you.
I'd already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
That's why she ended up using the nickel samurai costume, okay. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's biggest secret there.
And what is the secret?
That, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Onguard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word! What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth isn't... The real criminal is Matt Onguard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor. The fence still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. Shit! You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. Prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Fuck! What about Maya? Oh my god. Today's trial, it's over. I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth?
What is it?
Before you leave the court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room? On that day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body? That makes it crucial evidence, right?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
We don't know that because you took it.
Yeah, I guess not, but
it's still a strange card if you ask me. As far as a clue to this case, I don't see why... Witness, that card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth! Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This. I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
I've never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. That card? Where in the world is it and what does it mean? Well, we survived the trial. Hell yeah, we're gonna save. Alright, what time is it? It is about 8:20. My voice is getting kind of tired, so I think we're going to stop here for the day and then pick up next time, which will be sometime during the weekday. Because I'm trying to stay pretty consistent with doing 1 or 2 weekday days and then 1 day on the weekend. So yeah, we're gonna pick this up next time. If you're not already following, please do give us a follow if you want to see more of this when we pick up next time. And that way you can get notified when we go live. You can also follow me on Twitter, and then I will announce the day of when I'm kind of thinking of streaming it. Because my schedule kind of varies depending on how things go with dinner and whatever. But yeah. So, that's it for now. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope it was fun. I can't remember some of the voices that we were doing, so if I changed one of them, I'm sorry. But I am kind of tired now. Anyway, yeah. Thanks everyone. I hope you all had a good weekend, and I hope you all have a good rest of your night. I will catch y'all next time. Let me see if I have any friends streaming right now. I don't have any friends. Nobody's streaming. Okay. Well, I'll catch y'all next time then. Have a good night and see y'all later. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me post this. So if you do want to follow me on Twitter, there it is. All right. Have a good night. See y'all later. And thanks again. Bye.